All right, starting video 3. Warner Brothers was doing the same rise. Yeah, there was a deal, so figure it out. All right, Palantir, um, beloved company, the most expensive stock I have ever seen. Period. In the S&P, it is the fact is it is the most expensive stock in the S&P now, and you can research and see if it's ever or not. I don't have that kind of time. The only thing I have to say is it's an incredible company. Um, the US went to UK, they came back with $1 billion contract for it. And at one point, the government sales were shrinking and the private sales were growing, oranges and apples. And they sold the stock down because of that fact. And I said, who cares? They're still growing. I was arguing for Palantir. So from a valuation perspective, this one is too expensive for me to get started in it. I am short and struggling. If the bell rings right now, I win with all of my shorts, but I am defended. Like I am hedged, like I said I would be multiple times. That's the second time I hedge it because I just respect the silliness of the market at this point. What am I finding silly? I've beat that concept to death, but we do have many new followers and readers and watchers, members. So my concept is fairness of price, and it grows pretty quickly and it's accelerating its growth rate. But what is growing faster than its actual sales growth is the price of the stock. So price to sales is over 130. The simplest way of saying it, if you buy the shares now, you're giving them credit for 130 years worth of sales today. It's an outrageous number. I don't care what kind of a growth rate it has. That is an outrageous number. I would never consider buying a business that brings in $1 million in sales per year and I'll offer them $130 million. I mean, that's way more than Uber when it was a unicorn. Remember that whole mess with Uber and Lyft? And it was an outrageous number back then. Technically, it's going into a prior fails, which is the exciting part. If it breaks out of 190, it probably goes to 250. I have no idea. That is the kind of market we are in. 3 days ago, it had a horrendous day. It was down a lot. And then within hours, that headline broke out and off to the races. In spite of the market being red, the thing rallied 10 to 15% thereafter. So now we're going into a prior fail. Let's see if they want to take it out above and beyond what it has already delivered. Buy the dip, yes. Add to your position only if you're a momentum trader looking for the breakout. Buy into a prior failure, no. Buy the next dip into 172 to take that opportunity if you believe it's going to happen, yes. So hopefully I gave you the picture for a momentum trader that wants the breakout. We're going into a fail. I don't buy a call. I buy the next dip. And if they do break out before I get that chance, I buy the next dip anyway and get into the price now. So I'm not missing out on anything. There is a small scenario where it breaks out and never looks back and I miss it. And that's okay. PayPal. Okay, so this was a difficult stock to trade in 2022. We were trying to catch the falling knife and it took a lot of trading in order to actually do it successfully. It was a tricky thing. What I noticed is that it moves with Bitcoin. I don't know if this is still true. Square, this one, they move with Bitcoin. And let's say Bitcoin has a couple of red ticks or a couple of weeks of weakness. This one needs to hold 66. If you lose that, you go to the low 60s. Meanwhile, if you break out of 71, you're going to face a bigger seller at 74 and 75. So you're pretty much stuck in a range without a headline. Good business. I don't like doing business with the company, although I use them every day from both a merchant side and a consumer side. You're stuck. You have sellers above and buyers below. Earnings are in 37 days. Rocket Lab. 51, 52 seller zone. Support 44.5 and lower. 41 and lower is even better support. So you're kind of stuck there too from a trading perspective. Investment wise, I mean, P&L is pretty wonky. Must be about future successes. It just doesn't seem like a bargain spot. How else can I say it without being a hater? All right, I can do it. A year ago, it was $8. That's just what I'm going to say. A year ago, it was $8. Rumble. Video platform. Not much sales. A whole lot of hype. Oh, we did an Iron Condor on PayPal. Thanks for reminding me. Yes, we can repeat. If you can do one in 3 weeks, 2 weeks, we can repeat it. So hit me on Monday so we can write it up. Rumble. Thanks for that, Raul. Baseline, okay, it just fell into a well-consolidated zone. So if you bought the dip on Rumble, good job. You have a hard buyer into 6.8 right there. And I would say anything below 7.3, solid support because of it. You have a solid seller at 840 or higher. Anything above 9 is borrowed time. The trade. The investment, you can buy it and hold. San Diego Edison, no. Solar Edge. Higher lows and higher highs, good trend. Buy the next dip if you want that trend. So if you're trying to trade this ascending trend, notice how it's doing this. So maybe you buy the next dip. This week, see if it comes down to 32 or lower. Zooming out. Ooh, yeah. Okay, so I'm not going to stop you from buying it. This is the kind of stock this amateur market will say, we're going to fill the gap. So you don't have really hard sellers until 48. So if you're long, enjoying the breakout from 32, enjoy it. SMCI, crazy stock, crazy people that trade it, that control the narrative, not trade it. 3 weeks ago, I couldn't get away from headlines. It's going to 100. It's going to 100. Like emphatic. It's good. This one's going to 100 with complete confidence, and it didn't. It got halfway and it failed. So I honestly, if you're investing in it, you should answer the question. I don't know. Did they actually file their 10Ks? Like, it seems like every day there's somebody that says they did and they didn't. Find that out. It's really important to know if they're breaking the rules or not, or if there's that headline looming. If you're short and the headline goes away, the thing will soar, and vice versa. So a flash dip to 36 would be a buying opportunity. There is an open gap there. A flash rip to 55 would be an exit opportunity. There's a seller there. SMR, New Scale Power Corporation. There we go, another power company. No sales to speak of. Future story. So do your homework. Find out if this is the one of the ones that's going to be a winner. Above 53, I think you get to 67, and you have buyers into 32.50, and you have weakness into 25 if you lose that support zone. Let's zoom out. Yep, that stands, whatever I just told you. SOFI, moonshot. So I'm a merchant, right? I do accept credit cards. So I'm going to give you my feedback without sounding negative. I used to get 1 a month, maybe 2 a month, failed credit card transactions. Now I get 3 to 5 a week. Observation. I also read that people are looking and starting to talk about the number of searches over help with my mortgage, that they say this is for the first time higher than 2009. Well, my instinct is saying, okay, that is not a fair comparison. We have more people searching now, so you will have a higher than 2009 searches in almost everything, because we have a deeper penetration in who has access to searches. So I think there's a 20% built-in increase probably to just from the number of people searching. So while the problem might be there, don't bite into that idea too hardly. So, obvious entry point? No. I remember a time where I couldn't convince many people to go long at $5 and $6 and $7, and now it's at $30, and we're going after it big time. I don't know how they do if the consumer pulls on spending or gets in trouble. Are they in the business of consolidation of loans? Then they might have a business. Or if they issue their own loans and sell them at the wholesale, they're at risk if the wholesale market gets bound. So do your homework. I don't know their business model. I know other companies, but not this one. If they don't rely on wholesale, they might be okay. So just find that out. Breakout happened at 18. Any approach of 22, you will get solid support. Buy the dip. Any approach of 18, 19, anything below 20, also definitely buy the dip. Chase it at all-time highs at your own risk. If you're an investor, where's the fire? If you waited this long. Steel Dynamics, not an obvious entry point. Prior fails. It might get up to 147. And it might dip into 130. So you're at the mercy of momentum. That's the daily. I think there's a decent chance of dipping a couple of dollars, maybe $3. And there's a decent opportunity for a breakout from 144. If you twist my arm, I would sell a call spread above 150 and sell a put spread below 132. If I'm able to do that, that's what I would do. It has earnings in 29 days, so you want to be aware what time frames you use. And also look into, has it ever pre-announced? You can sometimes see it in the chart. I think it pre-announced something here. Like June, there's no earnings, and look at the move. So that might not be the best stock to do an iron condor in. Okay, so if you own shares in SOFI, going back to SOFI, and you're afraid of selling covered calls, don't sell covered calls. I would not own a share without selling covered calls. And sometimes the stock is too small, like $29, $30 stock doesn't offer a lot of premiums. And if you're saving 50 cents, then maybe it's better not to sell them. So for this one, I would wait for the dip to go long, but there is a breakout opportunity. So it depends, are you investing or are you trading? Constellation, I did speak not highly of them of late, and it looks like I was right. This is the company that blew $4.5 billion on an opportunity to be involved in pot stocks. They didn't even buy the company, they just gave them cash. Because legally, I don't think they could have bought it. It was an illegal business. Federal. Yikes. Okay, so this one is heading south into the pandemic levels. So if I'm long the stock, it's too late to panic. Somewhere in the next $20, I have support, like Lulu, remember? And losing 160 accelerated the downside. If I wanted to go long the stock, and I've done homework and I know the ins and outs of it, I would sell puts aggressively to own those shares, or maybe start with a credit put spread and then turn it into a sold put for that opportunity. Okay, somebody did the homework for us. Thank you, Faye. I appreciate it. Earlier, we mentioned SMCI, do your homework. It seems that they have filed their 10Ks and their 10Qs for quarter 1 and 2 for this year. They're fully compliant. So that headline risk is off the table. That's bad news because usually you'll see a spike on that headline. So obviously that opportunity to spike is gone. But thank you for doing that research. Amazing group. So yes, you have support into the 100. You decide. Symbotic, on the dip in April, I said buy shares and hold them for a long time. This is a robotics story. It's maybe the Palantir of the future in the robotics, you know. And it did give you a couple of spikes. So, and here's one. 11% a couple of days ago or on Friday. Wow. Okay. I don't know what happened. 11%. Chief Strategy Officer sells shares 3 days ago. The stock rallies 11%. bear of the day. What? How is this a bearish headline? Oh, okay. So buy the dip, yes. Buy the rip, maybe not. So if you're trading, you're going into a harsh selling zone at 64. You can see it. If you take out 64, you're going to 80 or more. So which are you, an investor or a trader? An investor should be patient. You have a seller waiting at 61. A trader, you know, pick your entry points according to your speed. Wow, 11%. Holy moly. That's impressive. Find out why. TAN, solar energy. I prefer to not get involved in solar, but if I do, it's First Solar. And this here is not an obvious entry point for solar. I've been doing homework on solar. I can build a system myself, so I did some homework. And it's a viable thing. I don't know why it hasn't taken off without subsidies. It's weird. It's like a slam dunk decision for a house to have solar on it in most parts of the US, even cloudier parts. But there should be by now like a hybrid system, geothermal, solar, wind power that they sell to your unit with some batteries. But I guess it's not doable yet. 50, pretty big turnaround point. Current price, pretty big turnaround point. So if I was long as a trader, I would be exiting in this zone between here and 46. If I wanted to short it, credit call spread here, as long as it's below 46. Above 46, I would get out. Buy the dip if you haven't bought it yet. Anything below 39 might make sense. The closer you get to 36 and 34, the better. It slid quite a bit, and now it's establishing a base. If you didn't have the courage to get long, this is going to sound harsh, but I'm not being critical. I would say that to myself. If I was looking to get long the stock and I couldn't convince myself to be long down here, I should have the guts to say, you know what, I missed it. I was chicken here. I should be brave enough to say, you know what, I missed it. You could get to 50 though. So team also can't find a floor. And we do have a trade on it of sorts. Credit put spread, was it? With an optional credit call spread. Yeah, nobody's asked me about it, so I'm going to say from memory that's an okay trade. Hello. Thanks for joining us. This is the last video. Team has a good base, has a path to 200, 210 if the base holds. So if you got long here, put a stop. Where's the stop? Technically, it's not until 130. I wouldn't do that. You have buyers into 148. I think below 148, it gets to be iffy. So you can do the stop based on delta, if you sell a put or a put spread, or based on how much money you're willing to lose. Target, I wouldn't touch it. Can't touch this. What happens if Target loses 87? I don't have an answer. Therefore, I don't trade it. Good company, good P&L, bad social media situations. There's always somebody pissed at it for one reason or another. Kind of like Disney. The left is pissed at it now. Before it was the right. And I think Target has the same thing too. Levels, right there. Levels, right there being where it's at. 80. So between 80 and 88, there should be a hard buyer. So if you want to get long with a stop, that's fine. Almost in any form. Shares would be okay. If I buy 100 shares, I sell a call right away. Covered. If I buy a call, I make it a leap and sell a call short-term, covered, create a spread. If I sell a put to own shares, I better mean it. If not, sell a put spread and buy a call spread. That's the least aggressive, least money out of pocket. And you can make it zero money out of pocket, which, by the way, reminds me, we went long short XHB a few weeks ago, and it didn't work, and we didn't lose anything because we did the opposite of this idea. We wanted to accomplish a short. We bought something, and we financed it completely by selling something else. That selling something else died in our favor. The other one did not provide profits. But if you had sold the one you bought, even for 20 cents, that was profit. So in this case, you sell a put spread, you get enough cash. You buy a call spread. with the cash. No money out of pocket. If it bounces, you make money. If it doesn't collapse, you don't lose money. You leave room for error. Credit put spread, debit call spread combination. Okay, Tesla. So it soared on news that the CEO bought, I forgot how much, $1 billion worth of stock. There's no way on earth I would short Elon's belief in himself. If he believes enough in spending $1 billion, and somebody said $1 billion is nothing to him, like hell it isn't. $1 billion is something to everybody, and it's cash. It's not like he bought it on loan or anything. So, and probably out in the open market at 389. So I'm not shorting Elon, but this is a red W. So between here and 480, there's a seller. Duh, look left, right? But as long as we're below 480, this one might come back to 370 or 350 or 330. A friend of mine is shorting it, and I'm holding my breath for him. I mean, I'm short crazier stocks, so I have no room to talk. But you saw what it did to the shorts from 360 to 430. And buy the dip if you wanted to go long Tesla for the long term. As a car company, is extremely expensive, but it might have other sources of income. We'll see. I think the next story from Tesla is the semis and Uber. I read something about Uber and it holding hands. If that's not BS, that could be something. They need another source of income. TTD, I said I will never trade this again for us, and I meant it. We sold puts on the way down. We won with them, but some of us got assigned before we won. And on this spike, we got out. We made money. I said, no more. No mas. I am not selling anything in that stinker. The trade desk has a decent P&L. Look at how stable this P&L is. And this drop could not find support anywhere in sight. Like now. What is the deal? What is this mystery? Now, having said that, buying it here is what we should do. You should do. You look left, every time it's been here all the way back to 2022, it made money. The scary part is what happens if it clicks below 40, like 39. Yes, you can buy shares for the long term. What happens if it goes to 39? I'm asking because there's no answer to it. I think it must hold this floor. And yes, a long-term position would be fine, either from here or sell a put into the low 30s. Then you don't care what happens at 39 because then you go down to the low 30s and you would assign yourself a good position there. So either buy some shares for the long term and sell some covered calls, or buy a leap call and sell calls shorter dated, or sell a put or a put spread to get started long, or a combination of all of those, like we said about that other stock earlier. Target, was it? Yeah. Unity, no, not for me. Again, pretty stable stock. You look at the P&L, pretty stable. And the stock is not stable. This is a pandemic stock. Not an insult, it's just a reality. A stock that went up to 210 and went down to 10, and you want to convince me it's a good idea to get on board with these investors, it's just a lot of gambling. Like, nothing changed in the P&L, but that's too big of a discrepancy in the price. It's in a breakout. It's in a prior fail. There's a hard seller between here and 57. You decide how close to that you want to be long. For myself, I would not touch it as far as a long from here. I would buy the next dip if I have it in me. If I'm an investor, let's say I bought it at 52 and I was down 99%, I would be out here with a small loss. UNH. Again, different people have different risk appetites. It might go to 70, I have no idea, but I'm okay missing out from 52 to 70. UNH, same conversation. It was 600, and then it was 240 and 230, and now it's 360, and not much has changed in this P&L, only rhetoric. The only thing that changed is feelings and words and scared and not scared. Here, investors pooping their pants. Here, everybody's confident because Buffett bought some. Look at Oxy. Buffett bought some at the highs. Okay, it doesn't mean he's trading it. We don't know how many calls he sold against his position. Okay, it might be millions and millions and millions of dollars. So his entry point might be 250, and here you are buying it at 360 or whatever the hell it is. So UNH, good business. Nothing changed in the business, just valuation because of fear. Levels that matter, 380 zone, 377, 380. Level that matter, 440. So you decide how close to those you want to be. Support zone, anything below 300 should be bulletproof, right? Let's see. That there are a lot of boxes. There are a lot of uncertain zones, like down to 280. Will it ever go down there again? I have no idea. What happens if the market drops 5%? The stock market. We'll see. Is it a sell here? No. Is it a buy? Maybe. Depends on your time frame. That's all there is to it. And if you're trading or investing. Good solid buyer at 316. Decent buyer at 325. Hard seller at 360 plus. That's the trading comments. Hi, Darcy. Where's Chris? Darcy, where's Chris? VRT. Vertiv, okay. Pretty active stock. Buy the dip. If you bought the dip, then you're getting a reward. You should know that there's a seller just above here into 152. Okay. So if they take out 162, 163, okay, they go to 180 or 178. Otherwise, you should have a seller approaching this zone where we are. Let me zoom out. Okay, good. Sorry to bug you on a Sunday. Okay, so this stock has not had a good entry at these levels in a long time. Ask these people. They did not have a good time. Definitely these guys. Ask these people. They did not have a good time. So here's the statement that's going to sound pretty harsh. If you don't break out from 155, 60, 56, which the reward is pretty big, if you don't break out from that zone, you're going to retest the recent base, which could be 116 or 100 minus, which is an extreme drop. Don't think it will happen. Wouldn't buy a put for it. It would also need the market to go down there. But a dip into 125 is totally okay. So breakout or risk revisiting lower lows for better footing. WYNN. It is in a breakout. It is in a breakout. And I don't know why. Is this a Macau story? What's going on? Just find out. This is an exit spot for me. If I look left, is it Macau? Okay. So China. So if you shorted EEM, don't touch this one. It looks like 118 breakout could lead to 160 as long as they can overcome the sellers at 140, and I don't think they can. That's pretty big. So either here or at 140, I would try to short it somehow. Let's see if there's time. 46 days until the next earnings report. This is an exit spot for me. I would not get engaged long on WYNN right here. XHB. Okay, I spoke too soon. So XHB, look at this trade setup. Use this concept to make money with other people's money. If somebody said, Nick, how do you like to trade? I like to trade with other people's money. That's what we did. We bought a put. It didn't work. We sold a call spread. It worked. We did both at the same time. Our money out of pocket was zero. So this one survived, funded this, which means we made money if we really had a stop. So let's say this was $100 to buy, 110, and we sold enough of these to bring $110. So we had zero out-of-pocket expense to open these three things. And this one died for maximum gains last Friday. And if you sold this $110 purchase for 20 cents along the way in the last week, or 30, or 50, or 10, whatever you collected from selling this one, whatever it is, it's profit. Even though it's a loss, you bought it for 110 and you sold it for 20, so you lost $90. Not so, because this offset more than the $90. It offset the whole 110. So whatever you collected for selling this, if you had a stop, that was profit. So that was a reason to short. We got the move we wanted, but it took too long, and they moved a little bit higher than we expected them to. So we didn't get the run perfectly, but it didn't cost us anything. So think about the inverse of this idea for Target. Earlier I mentioned it, and another stock, I forget which one it was. STZ maybe. So it's falling, Target. You sell a put spread to finance a call. No money out of pocket. If the rally doesn't happen and they don't collapse, your opportunity is to trade with somebody else's money. Okay. All right. So XHB falling into a support zone that extends through 108. Okay. So on an investment, this is still a short for me. Or how about this? This is definitely where I would not start a long. It's one thing to survive in this environment, and it's another thing to thrive. So this is home builders. Mortgage rates did not drop yet. The last time the Fed cut rates, mortgage rates rose. I'm not saying they will this time too. We have other dynamics in play. But remember why the Fed is cutting rates. Because it thinks we have a jobs problem. How many people are going to refinance or buy homes or move homes if they have a jobs problem? Not many, but I looked at Lennar, I think, reported pretty impressive numbers. It's mind-blowing how this is happening. So one of these data points is wrong. We cannot have all these stories at the same time. So don't short based on with confidence on fundamentals. Use the charts. The charts say they support the fundamental idea that I have. So it's not an easy long. Therefore, it could drift lower to 104 or 100. And with that, we have finished the tickers for today. At home, come join us in the live. People here, thank you for being here. I appreciate it.